Hey, Jeff. Hey, Chris. Hey, Mark. Yeah. We're back once
Hey,
again, bitches. Let's fucking go. Put it up,
yeet.
my brothers and predictions. Welcome again, everybody. This is the Horsemen panel. These are my horsemen in wrestling predictions as we are back here once again for our what's become an annual sort of Summerslam Summit, at least for the last 2 years in a row. It's great to see everybody here once again. I know everyone's been very busy. Of course, Jeff leading a meltdown, been taking care of all sorts of personal matters. Mark, you're still lead. You still lead all the teams. You still bring a pleasant demeanor as always, and you bring the conversation in team pro wrestling. And Chris, you say every match is great more than Tony the Tiger said Frosted Flakes was great, but we still appreciate you always. And to those that are tuning into this live, thank you all. And for those that watch on demand, follow my brothers in wrestling. For, of course, we cover all the wrestling and all the predictions, for we are the four horsemen of wrestling predictions. That being said, I've talked enough. Let's go around the panel and see how everyone's doing. It's been a year, guys, but it's great to see you all with good smiles and good demeanors. Mark, how you been? And how you feeling about SummerSlam?
I'm good. Good. Just another day. I'm excited because honestly, I'll get more into it, and I'm not going to ramble on here but I think this card is better than the WrestleMania card we just got. Honestly, so I'm really looking forward to it. It's definitely the WrestleMania of the summer, so I'm ready.
Yeah, it definitely feels like that this could be the WrestleMania of the year because we're not going to have a main event running car wreck. And we're going to leave that behind the past, despite the fact I hate the host that they picked, but that's a whole different conversation. That being said, Chris, good to see you once again. As always, you're always with me on so many different forums and panels and predictions, and you always seem to be the runner-up in our Iron Man Horseman League, which, of course, I'll put up the leaderboard here momentarily. But how you feel about SummerSlam this weekend, man?
I'm feeling good about SummerSlam, and I'm going to agree with Mark. I feel this is going to be the SummerSlam of WrestleMania because I feel the WrestleMania card was just lackluster and it was just missing something. And with SummerSlam, this is the first 2 night SummerSlam. I hope they deliver on both nights. We could see some surprises. We could see some debuts. We could see some returns. I hope Triple H is taking us on an ultimate thrill ride, and he is going to take us on that thrill ride this coming weekend. And always say yeah to NoDQ.com.
Yeah. Shout out to Aaron Riff. Check out Boss Man's review of SmackDown following SmackDown 9. Stay tuned when I'm back here on your screens later, hosting another wonderful panel. It's in the predicting for Sunday nights at SummerSlam, where this gentleman may join me. And speaking of which, leader of the Meltdown Wrestling League, the founder, I might add, and all of us are still proud participants of it. Jeff, it's once again great to see you. I hope that you bowled yourself a perfect strike this weekend like you do sometimes in your bowling league on Thursday nights. But how you feel about SummerSlam, man? Bit a moment.
Oh, let's see. 12 matches. You can get 12 strikes in a perfect game. I don't know if I've never had a perfect game yet. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I've been doing great. Settling in really well here in New York. And things are going really well. Very busy. Very, very busy. So, but with wrestling and work and personal life, I mean, it's just a never ending ride. Let me tell you. SummerSlam, I'm looking forward to this. It's the start of my birthday weekend, guys. This is it. I mean, that's why I look forward to SummerSlam. Good way to start my birthday weekend, and I'm really looking forward to it. Not one match on this card seems really dull. I'm interested in every match on this card. So
yeah, for me, it comes down to the placement of some of these matches that I think is going to really intrigue my hype and keep you or be like, what? And of course, the moments, of course, the up and down roller coaster. I definitely believe that we are in for a one of a kind time this weekend that can set up the rest of W 2025 as we know it. Before we get into things, in case y'all are wondering what I mean, these four gentlemen have been we have been along together for this crazy ride known as professional wrestling. Damn it! As far as the four of us together since before the pandemic, and we started our own internal league where we literally predict everything. The big four, particularly WWE, NXT, AEW, and TNA. And as you can see right now, I'm leading the way. Once again, Chris, you got 135 points. Mark, you're doing pretty damn well, 126. Jeff, again, you've been doing a lot of personal stuff, but I'm glad that's behind you. And we always appreciate your participation. You're there with 87. Currently, right now, I'm leading WWE, me and Mark are tied in NXT. Of course, AEW, I'm All Elite for life. And me and Chris are neck and neck in TNA. So, guys, keep it up. So, again, I look forward to all everyone's predictions. As always, I look forward to seeing, of course, who takes it this year. Because literally, it was only like a 5-point difference that I beat Chris out, to be fair. So, again, any show can make or break us in this fun little internal predictions game that we host. Without further ado, this isn't about predictions. This is our preview. This is our hype. This is our discussion. So, my horsemen, my gentlemen, for those that don't realize what that means, we are doing this for the 4th time ever. Good Lord, I've gotten hairier. So, again, can you believe how far we've come and evolved in this business and in life? Dadgum.
My hair has not changed once.
Let's go ahead and get right into it. So I wanted to treat things a little different because, to your point, it's a mega card, the biggest SummerSlam ever. 12 freaking matches. Jesus Christ almighty. That's double than what we usually cover. So I thought it'd be fun where I, for once, am not the only one talking, spearheading the conversation. Because, good Lord, I'm not even one that likes to listen to myself. It's not about me, it's about wrestling. So I chose each one of you to pick one match that you want to lead the conversation and dictate the conversation on and who speaks next. So why don't we go around the horn and do that? And, of course, everybody's going to get their fair share towards particularly the 2 biggest matches of the weekend, in my opinion, the World Heavyweight Championship and the WWE Championship. So that being said, Mark, we're going around the horn. Let's start with you. What's one of the biggest matches outside the big 2 you are most hyped for this weekend at SummerSlam?
Oh man, honestly, this is. I don't expect to hear this from anybody else, but I'm actually looking forward to the. Yeah, no. Honestly, I'm looking forward to the Karrion Kross and Sami Zayn because I think it could go either way. Honestly, and there's a big story there, and it's been going on for a while. And with the fans being behind Kross and everybody loving Sami, and it's a volcano ready to erupt. And I think it's already started to, and I think the conclusion of it is not even going to be at SummerSlam. It might even go a little bit past that. But I'm looking forward to it because I want to see exactly what happens. They've got me hooked, so I'm invested in both characters is what it is. And I like both of them, so seeing them both go at one another, each one of them kind of needs it. I mean, like people are talking about Sami could possibly win the Rumble and go on and get his World Heavyweight title. Everybody says he's not going to get. Kross has been in the news as being one of the most over people, but he's not really getting booked correctly. Here recently we've seen him more, but I'm not going to go into it too much. But that one, Kross and Zayn, absolutely.
All right, fair enough. Well, that being said, why don't you go ahead and juggle the conversation to get someone's thoughts first? Who you want to hear from first regarding that? I think he muted or he's got like.
Oh, that's what we're doing. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought that's what I was doing with our assigned matches. Like Gunther and Punk was the one I was talking about. Well, we can do that too.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, it's whatever. It's a conversation amongst 4 men.
Either way, let's start with Chris. Right. Let's start with Chris. Well, what do you think about?
All right.
Well.
Let's start with Chris on the Kross and the Sami Zayn match.
Sounds good.
What I'm thinking is, this is a blow off between Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross, and there's a weird stipulation on whoever wins have to admit who's right, who's wrong. That's like a weird stipulation to put on a match. But their promo this week, they were talking amongst each other. I like what they did with the Sami Karrion Kross thing. It's a rumor going around with Karrion Kross and Scarlett having signed their contract extensions with WWE. So hopefully they can re-sign with WWE by the end of SummerSlam weekend, or if not, will they be on their way out? We just have to find out and see. But overall, I have Sami Zayn winning this match. And I truly believe that we're going to be in for the rest of 2025 going into 2026 with Sami Zayn finally capturing the World Heavyweight Championship. My only problem is if Karrion Kross were to win this match, I feel he would get helped by the Righteous, who were formerly known in AEW, and I heard Karrion Kross on Instagram. He was playing the Righteous theme song in the background. So is that fruition maybe come true tomorrow if the Righteous shows up at SummerSlam and align with Karrion Kross, and Karrion Kross could have like a new faction going with him? But overall, Sami Zayn is getting the win tomorrow night.
All right. Interesting thoughts there. I dig what I'm saying, man. So that's a fair point. That leaves Jeff now as we go counterclockwise. Jeff, anything you want to add? Again, the character dynamics here, the thing on the line is more so a battle of pride. It's not necessarily a material, but it could lead to something bigger down the line for you, the man that are just deserving of that accomplishment and yet to do it in WWE. So what do you want to add towards this match?
I just want to say that Kross, since that interview or that promo that he cut on that Raw after, whatever it was, that insane pipe bomb that he left, he's gotten more interest from me with that, starting from that. His character has really progressed. So I am very, very glad to see what they're doing with Kross. Some people don't like it. I personally do. And I think it's funny that he has his hair the same as his opponents. He's done that very well. I like the stipulation because it fits what's been going on between Zayn and Kross. If it was a stipulation, if they had something in there that had absolutely nothing to do with the two people at hand, then I could understand where Rotz is coming with us. But with what's transpired over the last couple months between these two people, this is actually a really good stipulation. And I too noticed the Righteous theme song in that clip. And it would be really cool to see them align with Kross. But we also know Kross and factions don't exactly mix very well. We've seen that from the last one. So, in fact, Kross was basically out the door at that point, and I think it had to do a lot with that. Anyway, I kind of went off track a little bit. You're right; they both need this win, and it's exactly at pride. That's what this is about. I think that with how Karrion is coming across, and Zayn is responding equally, if not better than Kross each time, I got to go with the advantage with Zayn. I think this is a match he needs to win. Not has to, needs to. He hasn't had very good luck in the past, in the past few matches with wins, especially when it comes to pay-per-views. I think if you took this whole year, he probably has picked up maybe one or two. Yes, he's been injured, but when the pay-per-views that he has been at, the record is not all that great. No. He needs this win. Karrion can lose this and still be strong, especially if the Righteous come out after the match. It can still be a strong loss. So as far as who needs this more, it's got to be Zayn, and that's who I'm picking.
I can understand where you're coming from. It does feel like the underdog story. I mean, how many times have we looked at Sami Zayn as the underdog, and the underdog did win eventually in the end because he never quit? But it's one of those things also where I look at Sami Zayn's longer story, even beyond Karrion Kross. Think about when Sami Zayn returns from injury, to your point, to challenge the Vision Seth Rollins. Seth offered him an out. And Sami Zayn chose to endure this hell, and now he's going through this mental hell with Karrion Kross. Look at him at Patient AEW. It took 2 years for him to finally find redemption and ascend to heaven to become world champion once again, though he's already been to that summit. Sami Zayn's never been to that summit since he was the NXT world champion. The highest accolade he got was the Intercontinental Championship. Twice. it's one of those things, though, where I look at Karrion Kross and the fans pushing behind him, though, maybe turning away from Sami Zayn because they want to see Kross push further. You almost wonder who truly is the hero or the villain in this style versus who's right or who's wrong. I think that's a different story in itself that the WWE Universe has to try and figure out or to choose. And with that sort of outlook in mind, and the fact that this is the hat trick right now of their matches, they're currently 1-1. Let's not forget Sami Zayn's coming in here compromise. It does feel like one of those things that Sami Zayn should get the win and is going to win, but I kind of want to see Karrion Kross upset that logic and upset that system because it goes more with that mental warfare and character. And I think it also makes Sami Zayn question himself more too, because personally, if Sami Zayn's going to move forward, I think he needs a different changing character direction. I don't think he could be causally the plucky underdog from the underground that will fight till he can't fight no more until his freaking guts spill out. He needs to change that dynamic. The biggest babyface on Monday Night Raw is going to be Jey Uso, which I still think they're trying to push as. He needs an appropriate antagonist to go after him. Who was one of the first people that endorsed Jey Uso while he was the World Heavyweight Champion? Sami Zayn. And based on what happens with this whole bloodline brotherhood right now, temporary tag match here, I just feel like right now Sami Zayn doesn't need to be continually in this direction. And if the true mental warfare of Karrion Kross goes forward with Sami Zayn going heel, because everyone Karrion Kross versus goes heel, then you kind of feel like that Sami's going to go to a desperate place here to get the win. Kross is going to laugh at it. I think Kross is going to get the advantage, and I think it's going to cause Sami Zayn. I think he's going to exploit him emotionally where it causes a fight where not only Sami Zayn loses, but he also reevaluates himself and maybe accepts that Kross was right. Because if Kross doesn't prove something with all these mental warfares in these stories, what's he doing? Rumor has it or not, I want to see Kross actually get one big opportunity. In order to do that, he needs a major win now that he's finally being presented with it and booked possibly for one. So I'm holding out for Karrion Kross to do this. I think Karrion Kross gets to that SummerSlam. What happens afterwards, though, I think justifies either Sami Zayn's character change or the continued forward support by the WWE Universe. So I'm going against both of you, and I'm going to say that Karrion Kross kind of gets this. So, Mark, now that you heard everybody's thoughts on this, what is your now tail of the tape? What do you think should happen here with this unique mental warfare and possibly challenging character dynamic? Go ahead and close it out.
Yeah, I'm on the fence of Sami Zayn eventually winning the Rumble and going on and becoming a world champion for the first time. So what I almost feel like he needs to hit rock bottom. I think that like this is what Kross wanted, and I think that it might have him to turn heel or who is heel and who is a face anymore. There's so many tweeners, and I think that he might be one of them. But I think he needs to hit rock bottom, and ultimately I think that they don't want to slow down what little bit of Kross's momentum that he does have, because I almost feel like they're playing one against the other, because I think the fan bases, a lot of them are 50-50 on this. And it's almost like you got to be in tune. Your level of interest in Kross, you got to, how can I put this? The more in tune you are with Kross, a lot of his work is done on the internet, so, and if you're not in tune with pro wrestling as much, I can see where you don't like Kross as much. But I think that with Sami, I think he's got to hit rock bottom, and I think he's going to go, like you said, he's going to go and do things he hasn't normally done to try to get the win, and I think it's going to cost him. So that's why I was leaning Kross too. So.
Fair enough. So that being said, literally it's 2-2. I like this polarizing dynamic. And latency be damned. We're getting the conversation in, and everyone heard that perfectly. Even if it was on delay. You fine, brother. So that being said, what are y'all's thoughts if you're watching this? Do you think Kross deserves the win? Do you think Sami Zayn deserves another big victory, sweet victory for the favorite Muppet from the underground, everyone's favorite underdog? Is this Karrion Kross's swan song, or is TikTok Sami Zayn's babyface run time's up? That's what you all need to figure out too. Well, great stuff there, Mark. That being said, why don't we go ahead and keep this hype party going and move right around the horn with the next match to hype. Chris, you're on the bubble here. And if I remember correctly, you want us to acknowledge, despite the fact he may not be the main event, he still might be the biggest main eventer in modern day WWE history. So go ahead and hype up the match that you want and pass up to who you wish. You're muted.
Oh, yep, he is muted.
I'm
Daniel.
sorry. The match that I have selected, it is one of the 3 tag team matches that we have for tomorrow. And if it's not going to be the main event, is Miles just open the darn show tomorrow. We got OTC 1 Roman Reigns. He will be teaming up with his cousin. 4 letters, 1 word. Yeet. Jey Uso taking on the Oracles, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, with Paul Heyman in their corner. I feel this is going to be an explosive tag team match. I don't want to start off first. I'm gonna go with Noah Foster. I want your opinions on this first.
Oh, really? Well, that's interesting. Ladies and no, I'm not doing that. Well, it's weird because at the end of the day, this was not the original plan. I think we all can agree and attest to that. This was not the original plan, all right? We knew what the original plan was, and it involved Seth freaking Rollins. Now, the internet right now is in a Jesse Ventura conspiracy tailspin of whether or not Seth truly is injured, quote unquote, or is going to show up to screw both Roman and CM Punk again, like he did at WrestleMania with Paul Heyman. The other tail of the tape here is Braun Breaker wants to prove now that he's the top dog, the big dog, the one you acknowledge in WWE. Shades of what Roman Reigns did with The Undertaker. But at the forefront, what am I looking at here? I'm looking at Roman and Jey looking for revenge against Seth freaking Rollins. If they can't get a hold of Seth, they get a hold of his bodyguards in the freaking Paul Heyman's Oracle Enforcers, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. You also know how W Logic goes, gentlemen. What happened on Monday Night Raw? They took his jorts. Okay, first off, you don't usually see that. I will say that. But that being said, Roman Reigns and Jey Uso were left obliterated by Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker to show that they were vulnerable. If you put the babyfaces in a vulnerable situation the week of the freaking show, 9 out of 10 times in WWE logic and storytelling, the babyfaces come up with the win. But I also do wonder, based on what we talked about with Karrion Kross and Sami Zayn affected by Seth freaking Rollins' Oracle, dare I say. Paul Heyman always has a plan. Is there another person, maybe even Sami Zayn, that could join Seth freaking Rollins' vision and screw Jey and Roman? Let's not forget, Sami Zayn also had a big chance to become the undisputed WWE champion during Roman's run. He faced Roman one-on-one in his hometown, Montreal, and lost. I'm looking at the longer-term history here with Jey and Roman beyond the 2 men they're facing on screen here that they've come to know since WrestleMania, for being perfectly honest. But there's a couple of things when it comes to my prediction philosophy in WWE that I stick by 9 out of 10 times. You don't bet against Charlotte, you don't bet against Roman. And while Roman might be a part-timer, he still is the biggest ovation since Stone Cold Steve Austin whenever his Titantron drops and he comes forward on your television. And whether or not he comes back before Survivor Series War Games, since we know it's War Games again in San Diego, the jury is out. But you know you're going to have Jey, and Jey's going to be at the forefront right now of the crosshairs of this vision, Seth Rollins included or not. I think they're going to soft burn to Braun Breaker and Roman Reigns as a marquee match down the line. But to get there, Roman Reigns needs to humble this badass. And whether or not he pins him or spears him, I can't go against Roman Reigns and Jey Uso somehow coming up on top here, even if the jorts aren't involved. I got to go with the bloodline. I got to go with Roman and Jey. And what does it lead to after that? Seth or no Seth? Roman's going to come back for blood against Paul Heyman and Seth freaking Rollins. I see Roman versus Braun. And as far as Jey goes, maybe Jey can find a way to get back to the World Heavyweight Championship down the line. But I do think another foe will try and be his obstacle during that time. But for now, I got to go with Roman and Jey.
Let's go with Jeff.
Well, let's see. Since starting to team, the team of Braun, that's what I'm going to call him, Braun. It just makes sense. They have been absolutely unstoppable. I love this team, and it was a episode of Roundtable where I said very soon you're going to see these 2 people win the tag team gold. I can see Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed being tag team champions in the very near future. And I think what will cement that is going to be this match right here. I think that they're going to make a statement. Roman and Jay will make their statement. But at the same time, you have the whole Seth Rollins thing coming into play. We haven't heard anything about Rollins, have we, since he supposedly got injured?
Oh.
No updates, no nothing, right?
Oh.
Okay. So, with that being said, he's going to be there, and he's going to cost Roman Reigns and Jey Uso the match. So, I've got Bronze winning at SummerSlam.
Wow. All
It's
right.
an awesome name.
And
I
you know
love
what?
it.
They're going to turn that into a shirt because of you, and I blame you for that.
Hey, it's better than what was it called? The Wolf Dogs? I mean,
You know what? The jury is out. You're not wrong there. I'm just saying, you're not wrong. It was a resurgence for a short time, though, with Baron Corbin, who's now a skyscraper with Dijak. Feast your eyes. And shout out to Major League Wrestling. Yeah,
Yep.
Right? All right.
Let's go
that
with
being
Mark.
said, yep, 1-1. Gosh. This should be good.
oh, I can't wait.
Technical difficulties.
Um,
There we go.
they humiliated the O2C. They humiliated OTC by taking issues the other week and last Friday, and I don't think they're gonna completely embarrass him. The back-to-back times. I hear so many people. I didn't know. I'm going with Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. That's who I think.
That's all good, Mark. You're just on
That's
you're just on a big time lag. I mean, you probably can hear us clearly, but for some reason when you start talking, it's like a 5-second lag before we could hear you. That's why we were just waiting. So you're good, brother. But I don't know whether or not it's just the Bluetooth or the device.
How much of a delay is going on? Because when I stop talking, it almost seems like a full minute goes by before nobody says anything. Do y'all hear me?
I'm counting about 20 seconds or so before I can actually hear him. I see his lips move, but it's about 20-second delay.
Yeah. All right.
And I'll finish this off.
Okay. I'm done now.
This is gonna be an explosive tag team match. What I saw on Monday Night Raw with the beatdown with Roman and Jay, 9 out of 10. If you look strong on the go home show, you technically lose on the PLEs. So I'm going with Roman and Jay. I feel Roman is going to humble Braun Breaker. I feel Bronson Reed is possibly going to be taking the pinfall loss here. He's going to be the fall person in this tag team match. I feel like Roman and Braun Breaker, they will go up against each other. When do I see that happening? I could see it happening at WrestleMania if they want to save Roman and Braun for that moment. I would save Roman and Braun Breaker for WrestleMania and do the long-term booking right off the bat. So I'm saying Roman and Jay win this tag team match.
That's a long way out, dude. You still got Crown Jewel, Survivor Series, War Games, the Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia. I'm sure they'll announce Elimination Chamber, and there's some other show this year. I can't remember what it is. I don't even know if they announced it yet.
I would not be surprised if they had Reigns and Breaker at Crown Jewel. I would not be surprised. It would be a great setup to have someone come in, someone else come in, and then War Games.
Yeah,
I mean, because you've got an incoming Zilla Fatu will be showing up any moment. I mean, we already know that he's probably on his way, so that could be a possibility. And then just the Fatu family goes like this. So I mean, it could be anybody. But I'm seeing a setup for War Games.
The reason I said Roman and Braun to WrestleMania because Roman Reigns after SummerSlam he's going off and doing a movie on Street Fighter. So that's why they have to like hold things off until he is back with WWE until after the movie.
Well, I mean, if he's gone for a couple months, he's got Crown Jewel in October. So
October is Crown Jewel, so even so, and again, movies they can take a little while, but I feel like for one of your biggest shows, and they're going to be in Australia, so you know that's going to be a huge venue. They would probably want the biggest superstar in WWE there. Plus, would it be in Australia? I can see them running back Bronson Reed and Jey Uso because Bronson Reed would be that pissed off against Jey based on what happens here. So you're basically developing two single storylines out of this match. Either way, Roman Reigns and Jey Uso got to prove they're the standard in WWE Monday Night Raw, while the Bloodline are the ones still, despite the fact you believe that they could be tag team champions. I think there's bigger things in store for both Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, even in defeat here at SummerSlam. But you don't bet against Roman, whether he's opener or closer. You don't bet against the Tribal Chief.
I did.
You're crazy.
Welcome to my world.
My world. Double J, Jeff Jarrett, Big G's favorite wrestler. Hi, baller. All right. I think we just made Mark also have some thoughts there, too. Mark, anything further that you want to add to this? Okay. Yeah, we hear you we see your lips moving, that just delays on the speaking. I don't know what's going on there, but it's all good, man. We're making sure that the conversation keeps rolling. Everyone gets their hype in. Oh, well, now it's on me. All right. Well, before we get to our two big championship matches, and we'll do one of the ladies, because I am more excited.
No, that was it. That was all.
Good deal. There we go. I heard it. Before we get to our World Championship matches, I do think the Women's World Championships kind of do matter, but at the end of the day, I look at the Women's Championships like this. You almost have the same triple threat from WrestleMania, as now it's on me. And then, Jeff, it's your turn. Excuse me. Yep. You look at the two Women's World Championship matches. One's almost a rehash from WrestleMania. The other one, the jury is out whether or not she's been too choreographed or they have enough meat, pun intended, on the SmackDown roster to serve for new champion challengers. So I want to host a special disbelief on that. I still want to see the younger Women's Championship elevate and one of the rising current stars of the current WWE Women's roster to also elevate. He must be going in and out to check his thing. But I want to personally talk about Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria a little bit more. Yes, I know it's a hat trick, but again, it's no counts, no disqualifications. And since Becky and Lyra first faced off at Halloween Havoc, she won the NXT Women's Championship, I feel that Lyra's really grown into her own, and more particularly, she's evolved her character. Many people believe that Lyra's missing one thing: a personality. She owns who she is, she likes who she is, and she's not taking any crap from somebody she once looked as her best friend and mentor. That freaking weekend of Evolution, and still, that opening triple threat, talking about triple threat matches, that opening triple Evolution right now, I might have liked that more than almost WrestleMania. Almost. And then the 2 out of 3 Falls follow-up on Monday Night Raw where she beat Bayley to earn this opportunity. But now the title's in play where if she loses, she no longer can challenge for it. I want to see Lyra personally go after the World Championship, but I almost wonder, her beating Becky here, does it elevate her even more, and did Becky do the right thing? What I like about this is how far Lyra's coming to her own, both as a competitor and as a character. So I want to get y'all's thoughts on, do you believe this is the way to get Lyra out of the Intercontinental Championship picture, while she was in the workhorse woman of this year, to maybe to world title contingency? Or did they put the title back on her, and was Becky just a way to help Lyra become more comfortable in presenting who she is on screen? We know she's a great competitor, but before Becky pissed her off, we have not seen this fire or promo battle, I might add, out of Lyra. And in WWE, we both know you gotta be in-ring capable, and you also gotta be verbally capable on the mic. You need the mic skills, you need the ring skills. And with this feud with Becky, Lyra's proved it in spades. So I want to get y'all's thoughts on, do you think Lyra needs this win now that she's coming to her own better as a character? Or is Becky the one that should keep holding on to this title so Lyra can go on to maybe the world title picture? And that being said, Mark, I want to start with you on this. What do you think about the situation with Becky and Lyra? Technically 4, but it's their 3rd one-on-one encounter. And remember, if Lyra loses, she cannot challenge for this title as long as Becky Lynch holds it. What do you think?
This is a really tough one for me. This is one of the hardest ones I had to pick with because I could build a case for either side. But as far as the comparing to what you said, I feel like I almost feel like somebody needs to hold that title for a while. Like, and I really feel like maybe it could be Lyra because I don't think if she was pushed to the women's world championship division facing for the title, I don't think they would do anything with it. I don't think they would pull the trigger. I almost think it would be a waste of time. So I almost feel like if they want to build her, it's almost like a force feed. I almost feel, to be honest with you. And when I listen to the crowd, I almost feel like they're split with her. And I know that the WWE hears that. So I don't know if they want to pull the trigger with her on anything big, but I feel like they could start by maybe the Intercontinental title is her baby, and I feel like she can go on a longer run and actually build that up a little bit. And I know Becky's done that too, but I feel like Lara is one long reign from being a credible contender for the heavyweight title.
Yeah, that's justified. Well said. Well, I also look at it this way. If the WWE draft, Jeff Branspit LLL, is supposed to happen in September, and rumor, theoretically, if a familiar foe, I don't know, in Tiffany Stratton, is still the WWE Women's Champion, they could possibly run that back from NXT on SmackDown because, for all we know, this could be Lyra's way out of Monday Night Raw. But I also think about, at the end of the day, if she regains the title, who confronts her first? Bayley, maybe? Bayley right now, who is literally despondent that she's not even on SummerSlam at all. And with this being no DQ, I almost wonder if that Bayley fed to come into play. And Bayley and Becky, they may not like each other, but they are the horsewomen. They are the legends that hold it down. And Lyra wants to prove that she's better than both of them. Beating Bayley in 2 out of 3 falls has to hurt. And she's already beaten Bayley multiple times. But she's also beating Becky. But right now, Becky has the checkered flag advantage. Because, again, she has to pin or submit the champion. Then again, there's no counter disqualification, so Becky actually has to win this by hook or by crook, and it's all legal. So either way, I went for something violent, but how violent does it get, and does it prove Lyra's worth to be the Intercontinental Champion again, or is this her way out? What do you think?
Well, I agree that the person who wins this needs to hold the title for a while. We've seen that with Lyra. She held this title for 145 days. So the first time that it was out there, the inaugural champion, she did very well. She held it for 5 months. So, I mean, you can't really knock that at all. Becky, however, has only held it for about 2 months. And I honestly am personally, I'm sick of it already. Yes, this gave her a new title that she has never won before. Now she's got it underneath the belt. She's got that notch at her bedpost, so to speak. I say nix this because honestly, I am not impressed with Becky Lynch's promos. I just can't get behind them. Now, I'm not saying that I can get behind Lyra because she's got a long way to go. Now, if you remember back in NXT UK, Lyra, back in her other name, she didn't really cut promos.
Nope.
So that wasn't really much of a thing. When she started coming over to NXT, she didn't really cut promos. It was once in a blue moon she would actually do something. It wasn't until she got to the main roster where she started cutting promos. Now, lately, I have been impressed with Lyra and her promo work. But at first, I was kind of like, they're going to have this hold the title. She can't even talk very well. I mean, of course, neither can I. But it's just she didn't have her promo work together. Recently, she's got it together. I'm liking this new attitude from her as well to match one of Becky Lynch. But you also have to take in consideration there is a third party in this, an outside party, and you mentioned it, Bayley. She is going to be a part in this match one way or the other. I think that this ends Becky Lynch's run, to be honest with you. I think that this would possibly go to Becky. There is a chance that Lyra can win this, and the only way Lyra will win it will be by DQ, which means if she doesn't win the title, she doesn't get a shot. So she has to win via pinfall or submission and get that title in order to have this stipulation take effect. So if Lyra wins by DQ, she still can't get the title as long as Becky has it. I see Lyra going to main event status, going towards the world title. I really do. She's come a long way in a short period of time. And I think that she is ready for the main push. So I'm going to go with Becky Lynch to retain, which will set up the Becky Lynch-Bayley feud one more time, which we know they've put on major classics. We've seen it. And I wouldn't mind seeing it again, this time with the Women's Intercontinental Championship on the line.
All right, justified. By the way, just a heads up, Jeff, this match, in case you didn't see the graphic, it's no countouts and no disqualifications. Anything goes.
No, I didn't. I missed it.
But you're still right about the pinfall or submission. Again, the stipulation stands. If Lyra loses, she cannot challenge Becky for this title ever again as long as she holds it. Well, that being said, Chris, I mean, Becky and Bayley, two-woman power heel trip. Could that possibly happen here? Could the two coexist against Lyra? Enemy's my friend type thing. Do they both maybe feel undermined by Lyra right now in this situation, who's kind of gotten the better of both to a degree, even though Becky holds the title? We did see how, of course, Becky escaped with the title at Evolution with a quick roll-up off of that Rose Plant work, where, of course, she didn't pin Lyra, I believe. She pinned Bayley. So, again, Lyra still has a justification to challenge for this. And if that was enough, she did beat Bayley 2 out of 3 falls. Tremendous match that we all just watched on past Monday Night Raw. So what do you think about this? Is this Lyra's last chance? Does she get it back? Or is she moving on to maybe different things? And to your point about SCUK, Black and Red for Life, Aloy Valkyrie. Go ahead, Chris.
Well, my thoughts is I feel this match is possibly going to steal the show with Becky and Lyra. They put on an excellent match at Backlash. They put on another excellent match at Money in the Bank, and it will finally culminate at SummerSlam, and the feud is possibly going to be over after this. But I have Lyra Valkyria gain her championship back on Sunday at SummerSlam. And this is the thing. Yeah, you guys been saying about Bayley being in this match, playing a factor into it. I don't really think Bayley's going to be a factor. But I do see Lyra Valkyria gain the championship back, having that championship, maybe have a long run with it, and then eventually you could have Bayley be the one to take down Lyra, and Bayley could become the new Intercontinental Championship down the road. Is Bayley gonna go heel? I feel she will eventually turn heel, but not yet. So I'm going to go with Lyra Valkyria to become the new Women's Intercontinental Champion on Sunday.
I don't want to see one of the youngest titles in WWE be resorted down to a hot potato after Lyra put so much work into it. And I do think there's a reason why they inserted Becky into this. I don't think it was a Grand Slam complex, despite the red and yellow, brother. But I do think they want to try and test Lyra into a bigger point. Case in point, she's got the promo game now slowly growing. She's getting more confident in herself, in her character, in her delivery, in her presentation. She's building that connection. And why it's not fully there yet, because at the end of the day, people might still just know her as Bird Lady. I do think they want to try and see if Lyra... Damn it. I hate that people use that comparison, by the way. I want to see if Lyra can literally hang in the main event on the mainstream stage, where it's not just about how good you are in the ring, it's about how well you present the story. And I do think she could be a key story player, but I think for her to get there, she has to prove it against Becky, where it's about being violent. So as much as I don't want to see this talented hot potato, I almost wonder, does Becky need any more? Was this the reason she came back? I'm torn, but I do think right now, because Bayley is envy, and this could segue into Bayley and Lyra, big blow up, loser leaves brand, maybe. I don't know. Try and really build this draft thing into it, and so that way you force a pick in the draft. I want to see Lyra go after the World Championship. The only way that happens is if she doesn't hold the Intercontinental Championship. So somewhat reluctantly, I'm going with Becky to retain. And to y'all's point, it protects Lyra. It's gimmick. It's no counts, no disqualifications. They can do whatever the hell they want to a pinfall or submission. Heck, she could rake her eyes and roll up her tights just like she tried to do at Backlash and failed miserably. Maybe Becky's looking for that redemption. I'm going with Lyra to unfortunately miss out here and for Becky to retain. But I really hope Lyra moves on to bigger things. And I know that Stephanie McCure is going to challenge for the Raw Women's Championship at Clash in Paris. What happens in Perth? What happens at Crown Jewel? That's a whole nother story that I'm waiting to see unfold, if I'm being quite honest. And I hope it involves Lyra. So I'm going with Becky retaining. All right. Well, you need conversation about that. Let's keep this hype train rolling. And that means, Jeff, you're on the bubble and going from one extreme to the ultimate extreme. 25 years later, boy, did you pick a human cluster bleak car wreck to happen.
Leave it up to me to pick this clusterfuck. All right, we got a 6-pack challenge for the tag team championships, and they involve the champions, the Wyatt Six, Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy. We got Andrade and Ray Phoenix, DIY, yeah, I know, Fraxium, Motor City Machine Guns, Street Profits. 6 of the top teams in this company. And this, a lot of people said, should have been a match at WrestleMania. However, there was not enough time to gather up this match at WrestleMania. SummerSlam, the perfect place to have this TLC match. Oh, my favorite. This is my favorite right here. Like this is why I picked this one. I have always been fond of the ladder matches, especially when it comes to TLCs, because we know no one does it better than the Hardys, Edge and Christian, and the Dudleys.
Damn right.
You've got 6 teams here to match the expectation of those 3 teams. Can they do it? That is the question. We're going to start with Chris on this one. I want to hear what he's got to say when it comes to the 6-pack challenge for the WWE Tag Team Championship.
Well, I'm going to tell you, this is going to be the extreme match of the whole entire weekend. We got 6 of the best tag teams on Friday Night SmackDown. And if they would have added a 7th team, that 17th would have been Los Garzas, Angel, and Berto, who perhaps will be having an open challenge for their AAA Tag Team Championships tonight on Friday Night SmackDown. Who is going to accept that? We will have to find out and see later tonight on SmackDown. But as far as this tag team TLC goes, yeah, you bring about Edge and Christian, the Dudleys, the Hardys. Who would ever thought that 2025 on Sunday, October 12th, TNA, Bound for Glory, we get to see the Dudleys and the Hardys one last time. Whoever thought we're going to get that match? Who would ever thought, but I'm excited to see the Dudleys and Hardys on Sunday, October 12th at TNA Bound for Glory. Can't wait to buy that pay-per-view. But as far as this tag team TLC match goes, it's going to be great. I'm narrowing it down to the 2 teams that I could see winning this is either going to be the Wyatt Six retain, or they're going to give it to Motor City Machine Guns. But who I feel is going to win this match is I'm going to go with the Wyatt Six to retain, because Eric Rowan's going to be there. Nikki Cross is going to be there. Uncle Howdy is going to be there. So they're going to help them. And also, we also got Candice LeRae going to help DIY. We also got B-Fab going to be helping the Street Profits. So, holy crap, there's going to be a lot of people helping people this Sunday at SummerSlam.
It's going to be a cat fight.
Accurate. That's accurate.
So yeah, I'm going to go with the Wyatt Six to retain the tag team championships. And I'm happy that the Wyatt Six finally got a PLE debut ever. I'm so happy. It started with Bray Wyatt in 2013 at SummerSlam in a Ring to Fire match against Kane. Then we saw the Fiend Bray Wyatt at SummerSlam 2019
2019
against Finn Balor. And now, 2025, we see the Wyatt Six makes their PLE debut, and it happens at SummerSlam.
Oh, couldn't have said any better. Now, here's one thing I want to add to that. You know, you got the Wyatt Six, right? It's got the number 6 in it. It was 6 years between every one of those debuts. Could it be a sign? Mark, who do you pick out of all these 6 teams? I love where the 6 comes in play.
Good Lord.
There's a lot of 6s. Out of these 6 teams, pick an underdog. Who do you think would be the underdog in this match? Someone to really watch in this match.
Well, the thing is this, on the forum Noah Foster sends out, we have to pick one pick. I wish there was 2 picks because I would have had 2 picks.
Yeah. This question was for Mark. This question was
but,
for Mark.
Chris,
I'm sorry.
Botch. The question was for Mark.
Sorry.
Overexcited young man. Let's give it to the Ollie Hitman now. Go for it, Mark.
No, it's all good. As far as an underdog, it's not my pick because I did pick Y6 to retain for many reasons. But as far as a good underdog for this, who I could also see winning this, is Fraxium, and I think they came in so hot and heavy, and I think that they're one of the best tag teams in the world right now. And I know they're young; they haven't been together too long, but I just think that Fraxton could actually pull this off. I feel like they got behind them in the beginning. They went on that little run. They beat a few teams in a row, and I just think, and they didn't win the tag titles, but I just think that they could eventually become the tag champions, and I just think that this could be the right spot to do it.
Understandable. Noah, a question for you. Since they came into WWE, the Motor City Machine Guns was like a complete, well, some people call it a surprise, but I'm actually very glad that they did. And we've seen the success that they had. Would a loss in this match hurt their tag team career?
I don't necessarily think so, considering how many times they also elevated the ladder match, including a table bridge. If you remember Generation Me from TNA, the most influential team in TNA history. They're also former tag team champions. Them and DIY kind of started this entire dynamic before the Street Profits injected themselves to the picture. And then you had the Wyatt Six who ran roughshod as Fraxian came up from NXT and suffered their first loss against the newest mitted team, Andrade and Rey Fenix. I don't think this hurts the Motion Machine Guns in any way because they're used to high, elevated, multi-person warfare, whether together or whether by themselves. Let's not forget, these two also define the X Division. We got the most influential X Division champion here. I think the Motion Machine Guns, though, are still probably the most unknown to the entire WWE ecosystem when it comes to what they can do in this match based on their tenure in WWE. We saw shades of it, though, of course, in that triple threat, to your point, on SmackDown, where the Street Profits might be going in here probably the most familiar with this environment next to DIY. So, honestly, when you're looking at TLC, the only thing that limits you is your imagination and risk life and limb to seize the titles. I don't think necessarily anybody's going to be hurt from this from a value development. I think some people are just going to, at risk, be legitimately injured. But Motion Machine Guns, I think this is probably going to be their best presentation to date because they know what to do in this environment to the extreme.
Mm-hmm. Who do you think is going to come out on top?
Well, that's the other thing, though, because you basically have the entire SmackDown tag team roster and main roster tag team division here, because what's Raw got? So, honestly, with the Riot Six, the mystique and the special nature that surrounds them, and the fact they are presenting them more on screen with these championships. They were to lose them, it almost makes you wonder whether they just fade away in the dark. So I kind of don't want to see that. And again, you think about, 6 years since the Fiend's debut, the Wyatt Six's PLE debut. If they defeat the entire tag team scene, you almost kind of get a situation of what do we do now? Tag team tournament, AEW beats to it. I feel like, though, the Wyatt Six have to win this because I still think there's a lot of different stories you can tell. You still have the internal dynamics of everyone trying to beat them. You still have DIY going after the Motor City Machine Guns. And you also right now have Ray Phoenix and Andrade, who could probably have the best of 7 series they book it with Fraxium. As far as the Street Profits, they're kind of the middlemen here, which is kind of why I almost want to see them move to Raw, because Raw needs legitimate tag teams, we're being perfectly honest here. So I got to go with the Wyatt Six just based on the fact that it's so young in their tag team run. And if they lose them, I don't know what else you do with them right now. I almost feel like when you give a unique act a championship, you almost put them in a risk booking if they lose them. And I don't think the Wyatt Six should lose them here. I'm going with the Wyatt Six to retain.
No, I agree with that because the simple fact is, if you remember the Fiend, he won the, I think it was the Universal Champion. No, it was the Universal. Yeah. Which one was the shortest one?
The Universal.
Okay. Yeah, he won it. And then he just ended up losing it not too long after. So I exactly see your point. If you hold the title, there's got to be a reason why. You can't just have them hold the title and then lose it. Of course, WWE is known for that. The more recent one being Trick Williams with the North American title. Won it, lost it 2 nights later. We've seen that. Right. So it's like, we know that it's happened. But with a team like this, it dates back to when the Wyatt family came on the scene in NXT. They come up to the main roster. They end up winning tag team gold. This is the first time since then that any part of the Wyatt family has won tag team gold. I do not count the Bludgeon Brothers as Wyatts, because they were completely different characters.
Agree.
So this is the first time since that they've had that family outlook there or whatever has held tag team gold. They've only had it for a month and a half? Not even a month and a half. So yeah, a month and a half. Having them lose it would kill this group. It would kill it. And we want them to succeed. I mean, you've heard the pop when they won. When they won these titles, you all heard the pop. Everybody loved it. Triple H has done a much better job when it comes to hearing the audience and what they want. They wanted Wyatt Six to win tag team gold or some sort of gold. They did. They want them to keep it. I don't think Triple H will disappoint. Neither will this match. This match is going to be a barn burner. Easily 20 to 25 minutes. This is probably going to be, and I'm going to say this right off the bat, I think this is going to be the match of night 2. It is not going to be the main event. This right here is going to be the match of night 2. I see Wyatt Six retaining. And where it goes from there, I have no idea, but I can't wait to see what happens. Street Profits, I will agree, send them to Raw. I think that giving them a new team, a new bunch of teams to go after, well, Judgment Day. That's pretty much it right now.
American made.
American made. I think that's the way. Oh, and New Day. Can't forget the New Day.
Oh yeah, I forgot they existed.
I think that's probably a good team to send over to Raw. Although I would not mind seeing Motor City Machine Guns on Raw. I think they would do really well against teams like New Day and Judgment Day, and I think they would do really well. So Andrade, Ray, keep them on SmackDown. DIY, keep them on SmackDown. Fraxium, they're doing amazing. I wouldn't do anything with them. Keep them there. So a couple teams that you could easily send over there. But you've also got teams in NXT ready to come up.
Yeah.
You know they're ready to come. I mean, Hank and Tank, they've been amazing on NXT. There's a good team to put over on SmackDown when they get over there. You've got, even in TNA, you got teams in TNA that could easily take part. Because it's not just NXT and TNA, it's WWE. We can see them on the main roster, just like we've seen main roster people over there. Hence, AJ Styles was there the other night. So Wyatt Six retains, and I have high hopes for this team. I can only imagine where this is going to lead to, especially getting down the road towards Survivor Series. I'm eager to find out where this leads to.
Yeah, and I think it's that suspension of disbelief with the fact you have 12 men involved here. We haven't had this situation since WrestleMania 40 where they unified the Raw and SmackDown Tag Team Championships, that you really have no idea what's going to go, and there has to be one definitive winner. There will not be two separate winners. And we never had that situation where one team grabs a single title, the other team grabs the other title. We've never had that situation yet either. So that would also be an interesting dichotomy if that happens somehow. And then it's just a matter of who grabs the other's belt before it hits the mat, I guess. There's a lot of different ways this can go. But I also do think, to your point earlier, the Wyatt Six has 6 members. Even with those cat fights going on with a couple of the other teams, they still outnumber the entire field when it comes to some sort of blockade towards another team. So, again, this is going to be extremely interesting, and I'm looking very forward to it as well. All right, well, we got our individual match hypes out of the way. Why don't we go ahead and segue into our main events? And while we did talk about the men's main events will be our main event, I do think we need to respect the women, because I almost feel like I'm already giving Naomi the third wheel treatment. So I'm going to stop that right now. Let's go ahead and briefly talk about this real quick, because Naomi is going to have a huge chance to prove she is anything but the third wheel. She is their champion. You respect her damn name. Naomi, of course, will be defending the World Heavyweight Championship, Women's World Championship, against Mommy Rhea Ripley and the former Women's World Champion. Of course, I am talking about the Genius of the Sky, former Daughter of Stardom, Antonio Inoki, be proud. You know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about Io Sky. So, again, we saw that match at Evolution. It was an absolute barn burner. It went balls to wall crazy. Jessica Carr took a bump. But Naomi shocked everybody except JJ. Still hate him that he was right. She cashed in on that freaking match and turned into a triple threat. She pulled a Seth Rollins at the women's biggest stage ever in WWE Women's history, being perfectly honest. That was the women's WrestleMania. And she won the Women's Heavyweight Championship. But now she's going to her first defense, not only against the former champion, but somebody that put this title on the damn map and arguably the 2 biggest female stars on the Monday Night Raw roster, if not the entire main roster of WWE. Her overcoming these two will prove her that she's anything but a third wheel. But I fear about this, because again, we haven't had a single defense yet. We haven't even had these 3 women collide in some way since that one promo battle. Like, all right, you both want it, I'll give you it. Naomi needs to really prove to herself with this new character dynamic. She can be the talking point, the champion. She's not the third wheel. She's the primary focus. And it's going to take something big here, almost like she has to beat them both at the same time, in my opinion. I don't think it justifies if she pins Io Sky off just somebody's work, or Rhea Ripley off somebody's, where she just, comes in like a thief in the night like Becky Lynch. In my opinion, why she's the heel, she needs to prove a point why she deserves to hold this championship and why she can shine brighter than when she glowed at one time. So I'm curious to get y'all's thoughts on this Naomi character dynamic now that she is the Women's World Champion. She is the target, but how valuable of a target is she truly? Mark, I'm going to start with you. What's your outlook on this match and Naomi's chance to prove finally something more so to herself than anybody else? She deserves to be a focal point in WWE, not a third wheel or an accessory.
Yeah, I think Io and Rhea need to proceed with caution, because this is Naomi's time. I mean, she's been in with WWE over a decade, and she's finally got her flowers. She's finally got the ball in her hands, and they are not going. And arguably one of the best cash-ins, I mean, ever. I don't think there's no way she loses here. This was the most easiest one that I predicted. Between both nights was Naomi winning this. There's no way that I see Rhea or Io walking out women's champion. And I just think that this is Naomi's time. And I just think, they better proceed with caution, because she's definitely going to be the women's champion. I'm going with Naomi.
Warning, 20-second warning, by the way, in case y'all are wondering. Go along with us here. Damn it, technology can be a bitch. We're going to make it work. Good stuff, Mark. All right, well, that being said, Chris, again, if Naomi loses, what the fuck was the heel turn and catching for in the first place, man? She might as well freaking retire back to cheerleading for our basketball team if she loses the title here. There's no way you can justify her losing the title literally less than 2 weeks after winning it, right? But that being said, what does that mean for Rhea Ripley and Io Sky? Chris, I put that towards you.
Well, this is the thing. If Naomi would lose this weekend, she might just go back and being a funk adapter for all we know.
Somebody call my mama. Somebody call my mama.
But yeah,
that's a bad Chris. God.
If he wasn't going to say that, I would have.
Let me show my burners. Continue.
But yeah, I'm keeping it short and sweet. Naomi, she just won the Women's World Championship at Evolution, and there's no point of taking the title off of her this time soon. Naomi wins, and she's gonna go off to take on Stephanie Valkyr at Clash in Paris at the end of August.
Man, let's not forget the winner of this match, Jeff, of course, has La Primera, Stephanie Valkyr, and Clash in Paris. And even though it should be Chelsea Green, damn it, I stand by that. But anyway, it is what it is. I'm fine. Everything's fine. Respect the face of America. Anyway, Jeff, what do you think about this? And in a way, what does it do for Rhea Ripley and Io Sky? Do you think maybe they become a new women's tag team dynamic possibly? They are on the same brand as Judgment Day, who, let's be honest here, Judgment Day ain't losing those titles. Judgment Day are the owners of the multi-team championship. I'm just saying. Jeff, what do you think?
It's possibly that we could get a team out of Io and Ripley. It's not like highly likely, but it is there. The possibility is there. I'm sorry, but first of all, if you've seen, did you guys see the countdown today?
A little bit.
Okay. When they all had their meeting on the stage, I'm sorry, but I want Naomi's scooter. That was freaking awesome. I love that scooter. It was great. Michael Cole's like, does that thing go in reverse? And it was just slow. He's like, okay, well, I'll wait to ask you a question when you get back here.
Some of it.
I thought it was great. I agree. You can't have her lose the title this early. She just won it. It would be pointless to have her give it up this early. It would make no sense. I will say, I love this character that Naomi is doing right now. This is a side of her. I mean, even when she was a heel before, we never saw this. This is a side of Naomi no one has ever seen. And she's going with it, and she's doing an amazing job at this heel run. I think that she could hold on to it for a while. Stephanie would be the biggest test right now. And that might not, it might be Naomi taking it somehow, some way. But even if it is, you're not going to see the end of those two. I think they'll have a couple more under their belt. But I've got Naomi winning this hands down. This, as Mark said, is a no-brainer. This one.
There's a better chance of me stripping the suit, going to a white tee, straight black jeans, gold chain do-rag, saying Ice Cube today was a good day for free. All right. Then Naomi losing this championship at SummerSlam. You can take that to the bank.
Today was a good day.
That's right. Not copyright. Damn it, not copyright. You rapped at Los Andreas. I just exposed my youth. What?
I'm right there with you, man.
Okay. Well, that being said, I lost my train of thought. Moving on. I just wanted to get the women some shine. Now let's go ahead and get into the real discussion here. And again, Mark
I'm gonna get AI to create that version of Noah.
Do it. Do it.
He's gonna get AI to create that version of me. What? Oh, good lord. All right, well, legacy be damned, and also AI conspiracy theories be damned. Let's go ahead and get into our main events. Oh, Mark, you personally chose this match to spearhead. I believe even with 20 seconds, you will make this 110% sacred. As soon as you are ready to speak, my friend, let's talk about the World Heavyweight Championship. The Lean General Gold Star defends the gold against the Second City Saint, CM Punk, who of course won his way through a gauntlet match. Mark, take it away. Set up the discussion for this match. Give your thoughts and pass it up to whoever you wish. World Heavyweight Championship time.
Okay, between CM Punk and Gunther, this is actually one of the matches I wanted to talk about clearly, but it's two of my favorites, and I'm gonna lead off with Chris as far as giving his thoughts on, and I'm gonna do myself last. So we'll go to Chris with this one.
Fair enough. Chris, it's on you. Go for it.
Well, Mark, you had to put me on the spot first, but before I give my pick, I want Noah Foster to give us a proper introduction of the Ring General Gunther. So, Noah, take it away.
Yeah, you had to bring the gimmick back, didn't you? All right, fine, because everyone knows how much of a fan I am. So, ladies and gentlemen, I demand all your gratitude for your reigning World Heavyweight Champion, the Ring Gunther.
Someone had to play Ludwig. He's playing Americano right now. So we've got our replacement right there.
Everyone knows how much I'm a fan of Gooper since progress in WXW for the mat was made sacred. One of my all-time favorite wrestlers. There you go, Chris. Now go ahead and speak.
Thank you, Noah. This is going to be a hard-hitting match with Gunther and CM Punk tomorrow night at SummerSlam. This is rumored to be the main event to close out SummerSlam Saturday.
Should be.
We have to think about this. Is Seth freaking Rollins' injury a work or is it not a work? Is Seth going to cash in or is Seth not going to cash in? Hey, Seth could cash in tomorrow or Seth could cash in on Sunday in the main event of John Cena, Cody Rhodes, but we will get there when we get there. As far as this match goes, Gunther just got the championship back by defeating Jey Uso on a Monday Night Raw episode. Gunther defeated Goldberg at Saturday night's main event. He retired Goldberg. And this is the thing. Does CM Punk really need that world championship to cement a decade without being champion in WWE? It would be fitting for Punk to win the world championship, but I don't see it. I feel tomorrow night at SummerSlam, Gunther retains tomorrow night at SummerSlam, and I don't see a cash-in happening because with all the reports are coming out that the original plan, Seth is going to cash in during the Gunther CM Punk match for the World Heavyweight Champion, and Seth is taking the championship. I feel with all of that being linked out, they are going to pivot away from that and they're going to give us like a different type of ending. Maybe Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed comes out tomorrow. But also I thought about another theory in mind, and this superstar says, I want to be in line to be the World Heavyweight Championship first instead of you. I'm thinking, what if tomorrow night at SummerSlam, LA Knight turns heel and causes CM Punk the World Heavyweight Championship? Because LA Knight and CM Punk had that interaction, and I'm kind of thinking maybe LA Knight turns heel, and maybe LA Knight goes with Paul Heyman and joins up with them. I don't really know, but I see Gunther retaining tomorrow. He can go in the Clash in Paris, maybe against the two superstars I see him going up against in Paris is maybe either Penta or the returning Ilya Dragunov.
All right, then. Back to Mark.
Yep.
Okay. No, go ahead. I was just gonna go to Jeff. Jeff, what do you think between Gunther and CM Punk?
Go ahead, Jeff.
Well, we know that excuse me, Punk has not been WWE champion in any aspect in 12 years. He did have a taste of gold in the rivalry brand, which if we're talking WWE, we can't discuss the rivalry brand. So we've had taste of gold over there. So can he still become champion? Absolutely. Does he have what it takes to become champion and hold the title and do a good run? Absolutely. I think Punk is still in his prime. Even though he's in his mid to late 40s, he is still in his prime. He's still got a lot left in that tank, more than people ever think. You flip side of the coin, you have Gunther. 80% of his time in WWE, he's been champion.
Accurate.
That is hard to beat. And there's only been literally a handful of people who have. Sami Zayn, Ilya Dragunov, Braun Breaker. Am I missing anybody?
Nope.
3 people in the time he's been, including NXT UK. So, with that being said, you got to get the advantage to Gunther. I think that Punk will become champion. Not right now, though. Do I see a cash-in? Absolutely not. I don't think that this is the place to do the cash-in. I think that could be happen either in Paris or it can happen at Crown Jewel. I think those are the 2 better places to do the cash-in. Could he possibly wait until Rumble? Absolutely. But I don't think they're going to have him wait that long to do a cash-in. Because the last time he did a cash-in, he strung it out for 10, 11 months. I don't think they're going to have him string it out. I think he is going to cash in this year, just not over the course of the weekend. Gunther to retain. Punk will get his title. But what I really wanted to see, and it's been scheduled, well, rumored actually, at the very end of the year, the last match of John Cena is Cena and Gunther. That is what's been rumored to happen in December, which would be an awesome match for Cena to end his career on. To go up against the World Heavyweight Champion. He'll lose, but it's a great swan song, so to speak, for John Cena. So Gunther, I see it holding throughout the rest of the year. I don't see him losing tonight or over the weekend. I don't see him losing within the next few months. He is 80%. He is the champion. He is the ring general, and he's that for a reason. I got Gunther with retaining that title.
And now we go back to Mark.
Absolutely. I agree with you. Yeah, I'm just gonna with this delay. This has been almost impossible and awkward as can be, and I apologize about this. I maybe I should leave and come back, but either way, I'm just gonna keep things short. I just went with Gunther, and to be honest with you, I'm surprised that so many people have picked Gunther so far. To be honest with you, because everybody I've listened to, all the videos I've watched, the people I've talked to, it's all been punk, and when I went with Gunther, I'm surprised that you guys agree with me, but that was ultimately where I was going. Is I think that Punk is going to get his title, similar to what Jeff just said, but I don't think it's going to be that easy. And I know he's had a long road through the feuds with this one and that one, but I just don't think it's going to happen here. And I think Gunther wins here.
Yeah, and to just round it out,
TikTok.
because
Delay starts. So behind.
It's all good. We hear you. That's all that matters. It's like Saw Monster. He's never on the camera, so it's all good. That's all I care about, is that we all get to talk to each other once a year about professional wrestling. Damn it! And this has been fucking fun. And we still have one more match. That being said, I absolutely agree. You already know where I stand. The match remains sacred. Look, I do think CM Punk is justified in this pursuit. He did win the gauntlet against Braun Breaker, so he earned the opportunity. He's also been going after this pursuit for a world championship in WWE since he returned. May I remind you, he's literally coming off, I don't know, Night of Champions earlier this year, challenging John Cena for the WWE Championship and coming up short. I don't think CM Punk necessarily needs the title, but the fact that he challenged both world titles within such a short time justifies that, okay, he still got it. He deserves to be in that main event spotlight. But does he need a title? No. Some people think it needs to be justified so he's not Fragile Punk from, I'm going to say it because I'm not like that, AEW. And by the way, I saw his match against Jon Moxley live when Jon Moxley squashed him with a Death Rider in less than 5 minutes. So that being said, I think the pursuit for CM Punk to continue the chase for the championship is a story in itself. And whether or not Seth Rollins shows up or not, remember the promise. You will never be champion as long as I have breath in my lungs. He did get the main event spot at WrestleMania. Okay, dream fulfilled. But he's already been champion, so it's not like it's a new pursuit. It's a renewed pursuit. I think the pursuit keeps going. And either way, Gunther needs to justify these fans to shut the hell up about he tapped out when he made Jey Uso go to sleep. And I think he further justifies that beating CM Punk, if he can, in a submission. I want to see CM Punk pass out to the Lean General, not only to prove that CM Punk can still go in the main event, but Gunther is the most dominant professional wrestler right now in WWE and is justified to be a long-reigning world heavyweight champion. He is not a transitional champion. He's got this marquee. He's got this mystique about him of only being a world champion. That's why he's been his whole career practically, why 80% he's been champion overall. Let's give the man a chance to really elevate this title. I thought it was going to happen when he beat Damian Priest last year, but it was more justified due to that stupid Judgment Day storyline. I was happy as ever to see Gunther win the title live last year at SummerSlam, but I want the win to matter more than a moment. Give the man the proper run he deserves and he's capable of. Damn it. And CM Punk is one hell of a first obstacle to overcome to justify why he's holding that big gold belt and should hold on to it for a long duration. Now, whether or not it's the end of the year and we get the Crown Jewel Super Bowl ring face-off again between him and John Cena or Cody Rhodes, Cody and Gunther are no strangers to each other, by the way. And it remains to be seen. And honestly, I don't care about a Super Bowl ring. Is that Super Bowl ring even worth as much as the WWE Hall of Fame ring? Probably not. But anyway, that's a whole different conversation. Then again, it is Saudi Arabia. Oh, wait, no. Crown Jewel's not in Saudi Arabia this year. They're in Australia. Anyway, yeah. But either way, Gunther deserves to retain. Gunther's here to prove a point more than CM Punk. Because the only thing we've been saying this year, you tapped out. What they've been saying about CM Punk, his name. At the end of the day, Gunther's right. No matter what, they're going to chant CM Punk's name. But if Gunther can shut them up by making CM Punk not tap out even but pass out, that's what I want to see. Gunther justified on why he's champion, and you idiots forget the past and actually focus on the present. You know who you are. Gunther to retain. All right. Good job, everybody, and thank you, Mark, for leading that discussion. Appreciate you always. We got one match left, folks, because we're getting ready for Friday Night SmackDown, the go-home SmackDown into SummerSlam. And, of course, it's going to be headlined by our final outlook towards this. So I know we want to speculate on that, but let's go ahead and just get it out there. Let's talk about it. Jeff, because I talk more than enough, and so does Chris, and Mark led the World Championship. You lead the undisputed WWE Championship. Let's talk about John Cena versus the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. One more time for the undisputed WWE Championship, but this time, did you check the fine print? It's a fucking street fight. Desperation abound when it comes to the American Nightmare, fulfilling the American dream once again, where John Cena proved at WrestleMania he did not have to wrestle. He just had to beat the man. Now both these men have to fight to leave that WWE Undisputed Championship. Tick-tock, the timeline ticks down to 0. Do we even get there, or has a deadline been met in less than 48 hours? And that's the setup I'm going to give as I pass it off now to Jeff Chadwick. Jeff, take it away. Your thoughts on the WWE Undisputed Championship. John Cena, Cody 2, possibly for the last time.
All right. Well, first off, I want to say with this match, I am predicting not only who wins it, but I'm going to predict what's going to happen in this match.
Go for it.
I can see a double turn in this match. You will get a face John Cena at the end and a heel Cody Rhodes at the end, because there's one person that connects the both of these, and that is The Rock. I think that this is where we see Cody turn heel. I think this is where Cena, and we've seen it in the past in videos where Cena's leaving the arena with the title, he stops. The crowd is cheering for him. He looks, and you can see him smile. We're going to get a babyface Cena to end out the last few months of his career, which is what I was hoping for. We've seen the heel run. Heel run was fantastic. I love the fact that he came out, the black, there wasn't any signs or logos. It was just his name on a black screen. Exactly. Just like that. And it's like, I thought this was great. They could have done something like not have the music if they wanted to keep it generic, which I'm surprised they didn't, but that's okay, because it's still John Cena nonetheless. You can do whatever you want. He's the GOAT. In my eyes, he's the GOAT. Never seen 17. And I was actually shocked that Flair gave him his blessing, because that's what he had to do before he won this title. He had to have Flair's blessing on this in order to win number 17. I have the utmost respect for Cena. Have the utmost respect for Cody. I like both their face runs and both their heel runs, which is what made this match kind of a toss-up. It could go one way, it could go the other. I do see the double turn. And with that being said, I do see John Cena retaining the championship. Now, is this going to put a damper in Cody Rhodes? Absolutely not, because we're going to see what we saw from Cena when when Rock gave him that look. Rock's going to give Cody that look. And we're going to see this all over again, but on the flip side of the coin. And I'm hoping, crossing my fingers and everything else I can possibly cross, that this happens, because it just seems right in a setting like SummerSlam. I mean, Rock right now is not really doing anything. So we could possibly see this. It is a very big possibility, especially with the smiles, the actual smiles, not playing a facade, the actual smile from John Cena. He misses being a face. Everybody misses him being a face. That's why they're cheering for him. I see it happening. So Cena walks out with the title.
All right, fair enough. The timeline continues to count down, and what happens to Cody Rhodes? Stay tuned on the next episode of Never mind. All right. Well, Mark, And look, when I was once a wee lad, DBC and Yu-Gi-Oh! And Kolyoko were my life. Kolyoko was way too short for what it was worth, by the way. If you know, you know, folks.
Yeah.
All right, Mark. Well, what do you guys say towards this? I mean, it's justified. John Cena wants to ruin wrestling. He has to continue the timeline, so you would think he would retain. Cody Rhodes showing a more aggressive, desperate, hungry side. Not looking to wrestle a man, but fights him, even though he says he wants to beat the real John Cena. How real does it get at SummerSlam on Sunday, whether you have ruthless aggression or at the final boss interference or influence, per se? Because remember, The Rock wanted to claim Cody Rhodes' soul first. He didn't get that. He got Cena's instead. And is he happy with that? Haven't seen him since. The jury is out. It's on you, brother. What do you guys say regarding this? And latency be damned. We're going to get his freaking conversation.
Yeah, due to the complications, I'm gonna. Yeah, I'm just gonna try to keep it short. I'm just gonna go with. I think Cody wins, and I agree with Jeff too. I think we are gonna see a double turn, but I have a double turn with Cody winning. You can almost see it on his face when they were face to face, and when he was sitting across from Cena the other night. You can almost see it in their face of how Cody reacted, the look on his face when he thought he wasn't going to get the match. I mean, it's coming. We all can almost feel it coming. Some people say no because he's one of the hottest white meat baby faces that we've seen since probably Hogan. I mean, you could argue. But I think Cody is good as a heel too. I mean, I don't know if anybody's really seen a true Cody run, but I think he could be just as good as heel as he could be a babyface. And I've been saying that we're going to see a similar Austin and Brett double turn, and I really think that this is a good spot for it. I just think that I think ultimately Cody wins here, and I think Cody is gonna do things that. He's proud of saying that he is the quarterback of WWE, and I think that he's going to do everything he can to get that position back. And I think if it means going to depths and becoming this heel Cody Rhodes, I think that's what we're going to get. And I think it's all going to play out in SummerSlam. So I'm parallel with Jeff, but we just got different winners.
I love it. I love this different dynamic. We're split down the middle because, again, I think both men are justified to leave SummerSlam as the undisputed WWE champion. And, again, it's a street fight, so jury is out who really loses in defeat unless they lose themselves worse than Eminem. By the way, that should have been the host, not Cardi B. Anyway. All right, Mark. Well, thank you for that. And again, folks, we're less than 30 minutes away from SmackDown. So what will be that final angle to influence your decisions? Because if you haven't gotten your prediction in yet, my horsemen, remember, predictions are final, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. So keep that in mind. You have up till then to change them and finalize them. As soon as 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time hits tomorrow night, you are locked in the entire weekend. So good luck to you. 13 points on the line. That goes for everybody in Team No DQ and the No DQ Galaxy as well, not just my horseman here. Yes, I hold Aaron Rift even to that standard, but he manages me privately, so there you go. All right, Chris, let's go to you. Why don't you go ahead and break the tie, and I'll go ahead and close this thing out before we reconvene next year, I imagine. Been a pleasure, gents. Go ahead, Chris. What do you got to say regarding John Cena, your favorite WWE superstar, not named Roman Reigns, if you can see him, and the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, challenging the WWE Championship in a street fight, possibly for the last time?
Well, you even brought up about Roman Reigns. Well, guess what? I turned my back on Roman and went with Seth freaking Rollins at WrestleMania. So thank God. I'm gonna have to say this. The last time when we were all together and John Cena was in a match at SummerSlam, I lost, and I went with Cena going to beat Roman Reigns.
Yes, you did.
Now this time around, John Cena's on SummerSlam. I'm gonna keep this short and sweet. I got John Cena retaining. And here's why I say Cena retains. It's because we also got to counter in. Cody Rhodes is also going to be leaving WWE to take time off to go and do the Street Fighter movie.
That's fair.
So that we have to all counter in. And this is the thing. Do you really think WWE wants to have Cody Rhodes win the Undisputed Championship? And we're not going to see that Undisputed Championship until he comes back? I don't think that is going to happen because John Cena is still advertised for more dates. He's advertised for Clash in Paris. He's going to be a Crown Jewel. He's going to be a Survivor Series. He's going to be at his last match in December. And I know we are fantasizing John Cena versus Gunther, and that's the rumor match for his final match. What if WWE decides they want to keep this John Cena heel turn going and keep it going? Because I feel right now the heel turn is gained good. It's gained good, and I just don't want it to end. I know John Cena had that pipe bomb with CM Punk. That was good. And I just don't feel like it needs to end right here at SummerSlam. I see Cena winning. You can have John Cena in the main event of Clash in Paris. I don't know against who. Then you go to Crown Jewel and Perth. If you're going to have that Crown Jewel championship, everybody's been saying John Cena wants to ruin wrestling. How does he want to keep on ruining wrestling? Is he winning the Crown Jewel championship? And that's how he keep on ruining wrestling. And the Crown Jewel championship is the best versus the best. We could get John Cena versus Gunther at Crown Jewel in Perth, and Cena beats Gunther. Cena wins the Crown Jewel championship, and bada bing, bada boom, he keeps on continuing ruining wrestling from here on out until the last date for his final match. So with that being said, I'm sticking with John Cena to retain the undisputed WWE Championship on Sunday.
Okay, then. So we got 2 Cenas, 1 Cody. Well, the other thing I think about here is the Seth Rollins factor, which I believe both Mark and Jeff, you were talking about earlier. Because again, as we learned with Naomi, you could cash in on either world championship. And I keep saying it. Who was the first person that Seth freaking Rollins interfaced with when they came back to WWE at WrestleMania 38? Cody Rhodes. Who was the shield to the American Nightmare in finishing his story literally last year? It was Seth freaking Rollins and Cody Rhodes. Now imagine him dictating the future of WWE, stabbing Cody Rhodes in the back from shield to sword, and cashes in on the American Nightmare winning. It's that aspect that makes me believe that Cody will go the extra mile to beat Cena. But if he beats Cena here and Cena doesn't have the title, how does he ruin wrestling when literally it is heel and heel? And if he still wants to ruin wrestling, then you would have to consider him being heel against another heel. It's like the same things. They repel each other. And why I'm sure people want to see the babyface, because at the end of the day, you respect John Cena because he's been involved in your life since 2002, for Pete freaking sake. I just don't know right now. If this is what John Cena wants to do with the rest of his run, then you have to let it keep moving forward. So in a way, he would have to leave with the title. It's just a matter of how crazy this gets. We saw what happened when John Cena and CM Punk were confronted by Seth freaking Rollins and his vision at Night of Champions. They embraced and they worked together to neutralize that for a moment. At the end of the day, it was still Dick Kick City, 1, 2, 3. John Cena left with the title. Control C, Control V. I think he's literally won with a dick kick and a freaking AA and roll up, by the way, in every match. He has not gotten a clean win. I also think it also justifies what John Cena says. I don't need to wrestle you. Here we're not wrestling. We're fighting. What if John Cena beats Cody Rhodes by simply out wrestling here in this gimmick? Not only did you beat the American Nightmare Cody in what he thinks he's better at you in, you did in an extreme environment where you didn't have to necessarily do that. I think John Cena's looking for a definitive out from Cody Rhodes here. Movie be damned or not. And whether or not Cody returns his heel back from the movie, Cody Rhodes did hell-bent and determined on doing anything he needs to get that title back. Why John Cena, he feels like, I already got this in the bag. I already beat you. I don't need to wrestle you. I've already outfought you. I'm going to fight you again. Okay. And we're not going to have some lame brain interference by somebody with less talent than Cardi B. So it's one of those things right there. I said what I said. It's one of those things right there where I just feel like right now the result feels like it should be obvious, but the story is not. And what did we say about Roman Reigns' run? It was not about the result. It was about the story. This match is more story. We're trying to finish a different story or start a new story. You tell me. Cody Rhodes returns, dye hair black, full-on heel. No Rock or not. He's now the American Nightmare of WWE. John Cena still tries to ruin wrestling. Tick-tock, the countdown goes down. Who is the savior? Not Chris Jericho. Who saves WWE? Braun Breaker, Carmelo Hayes, Jacob Fatu? Is it Gunther who sends him off into the sunset? Who has more ruthless aggression or that attribute needed to take the title and save wrestling as we know it? That's a whole different question that we really don't know the answer to. And the fact they're running Cody and Cena from WrestleMania to SummerSlam tells me this is the last time we're getting Cody and Cena, and Cody is not the guy to save wrestling as we know it. So I think John Cena definitely retains. It's just a matter of what is next for the 17-time world champion, and how do you continue to fill those dates beyond nostalgia? Another thing we got to consider here, this entire hero has been nostalgia. Who is stepping up this freaking generation to beat John Cena or confront him for this title? I already mentioned a bunch of names right now, and no one seems to be right now even thinking about that. But I do think about the subtle nod back at the Royal Rumble when John Cena came in and somebody looked back at him. That somebody was Jacob Fatu. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I almost want to see Jacob Fatu and John Cena mix it up. I don't think they're going to run John Cena versus Roman Reigns at this point. I don't think Roman Reigns wants this title back, and I don't think it would make sense, even if he is being treated as a baby face. Plus, he's on Raw. Bland spit, LOL. Bottom line, Cody Rhodes is going to become a bit of a vacant memory, even with that movie play, and I think that's kind of what they're trying to justify and encourage here. And I think John Cena retains. Regardless, I have John Cena leaving MetLife Stadium still undisputed WWE champion. Chris, what do you got to say real quick before we wrap this freaking thing up?
You were talking about the names. You haven't brought up about this person's name that could step up to John Cena and save professional wrestling. I personally feel who could save professional wrestling? Joe Hendry.
You son of a bitch! You son of a bitch!
He appears.
Oh,
I believe in
yes.
Joe Hendry.
You son of a bitch! Well, I'm not going to lie. I think John Cena and Joe Hendry also is an incredible match that people would like to see, and that would be the biggest out of nowhere since he faced Randy Orton at WrestleMania. But he also right now is the TNA World Champion. But he might be the most motivational signing in WWE history if things go the way I think they're going right now in TNA Wrestling. But that's fair. That's fair. I don't see John Cena ever crossing the line. That would be absolutely insane.
That would be interesting, though.
Right? Especially with Bound for Glory around the corner. We thought we were going to get more of AJ Styles. Instead, it was just a X Division Championship endorsement. But either way, looking at the two men right now, we're pretty much 3-1 in saying that John Cena is going to retain. And the timeline of wrestling is still in danger as we know it. Will be saved. To be continued. Pokemon, black screen, yellow font.
At least the clap was on time.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And that being said, we're on time once again to wrap up our annual Hype Summit before SmackDown. Gentlemen, been an absolute pleasure. Again, folks, we are the Horsemen of Prediction. We look at, we love, we discuss, we appreciate WWE, NXT, AEW, TNA, ROH, HOG, DCW, NJPW, Marigold, Stardom, Independent Wrestling, all things wrestling. Until next time, Jeff, Mark, Chris, good luck to all of you. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next time. And again, big meaty men slapping meat, the sign of the night. And yes, we all believe in Joe Hendry. And I also believe that we're going to get ready to lay up the smackdown on our TV screens and our devices too. Love you, brothers. Love you all as always. Until next time, keep it real, keep it hype, make a positive impact in life. We are the Horsemen Prediction. And until next time, guys, have a good night. And good luck to all of you at SummerSlam. See you, folks. Let's get hyped for the biggest party of the summer. Damn it.
I do believe.
We all believe in Joe Hendry. I'm not going to replay it because of that.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
All right, get out of here, you two yahoos. I'll see you all next time here at the Horsemen Summit next year, SummerSlam 2026. Until next time, folks, keep the hype real. Have a good one.
Have a good night.